so it's a bit wet after the journey on the motorway on the M25, but it's looking pretty good. Pretty good. I've got the air suspension, so that means that with the 21-inch wheels being a harsh ride, the air suspension hopefully will take some of that harshness out of it. And as you approach the car,
what happens?
Well, as you approach the car, apparently, oh there we go, apparently the handles come out, and we'll just open it up. And it looks lovely inside in the daylight. Look at that. I went for the sunroof option as well. So one of the fun things that I think Elon Musk has done is added in a sort of the novelty of pressing this button here, and if you hold it for 3 seconds, I think it's 3 seconds they said.
Yeah.
Enter 007, which of course is James Bond. Clicking OK, and now you can see it has the James Bond.
Oh yeah.
I think it was a Lotus Esprit that they had, which of course became a submersible car. Now the hardest thing about getting a new Tesla is learning all the controls. So it's going to take a while to get that, but I'm sure that after sitting in the car and driving back to Wales this afternoon, I'll have a bit more time then over the weekend to have a little play with that. Now the quality of the finish on here is beautiful, beautiful. Now this model is the 60D. The 60D is the one with the smallest battery, and it's got the dual motors. Now the reason I went for that was that I'm an old man now. I was driving a Jaguar XK before and didn't use the power, and the Model S looks the same from the apart from the badge at the rear, whether you go for the P100D with ludicrous mode or the 60D. And this actually was a 75D, and I downgraded it to the 60D. All that meant is it's the exact same car, but Tesla, using the software, restrict the use of the battery to about 80%. So it's about 62 kilowatt hours, I believe, rather than 75 kilowatt hours. The benefit for that, for me, of course, was it saved £7,850 on the price. Yes, yesterday was a frustrating day. I emailed my my current insurer the day before picking up the Tesla, and said I wanted to change over to the Tesla. I gave them the registration number from 5 o'clock the following day. The following morning, I got an email to say they don't insure electric cars, as I was driving to pick up the Tesla. So a lot of frustration for me. I spent 2 hours on the phone while driving towards Swindon, talking to various brokers to get some car insurance. Premiums range from £1,700 to £4,500. Bit of a shock. So when I stopped at Swindon at the Beefeater for some lunch, I decided to go on the Tesla Owners Forum and ask a question about car insurance for a Tesla. And within 5 minutes, people were starting to respond. The first responder was a gentleman called Robin Gleave, and he suggested Direct Line. Give me the number for Direct Line, and that number he gave me was actually the Tesla specialist number at Direct Line. He knew the car. He didn't ask all the stupid questions that the other people were asking, where I spent 51 minutes on the phone just to one person trying to get a quote. He dealt with it all, covered me while I was driving in less than about 15 minutes. Tesla Owner UK is a forum on the on Facebook. Excellent service, and I've had numerous replies from lots of people. I've thanked them already this morning for all their help and input. What's great about this is Tesla owners seem to be like a community of people who want to help each other. So thank you for that. Thank you, Robin, and I'm sure I'll be able to contribute to the group as I learn about my car as well. So one thing I was surprised at is that obviously we've got cruise control here. I've driven the demonstrator cars with the autopilot, but the new model hasn't got the autonomous driving yet. So the double click I would normally use to lock that in, and it would then drive itself potentially. It's not working yet, but I've been told by Tesla it should be coming in the next month or so. So I'm looking forward to being able to use that and drive it, like all you other Tesla owners of the previous model have been able to do for some years now. The earlier Model S, you couldn't close the charge port, but this one, click that, and it's just closed at the back. I just heard it click, which I understand was frustrating for some other Tesla owners, that if they forget to close it after charging, they've got to get out of the car. At least now they can, with the new model, we can just press the button and it closes. Open at the back,
It opens up.
and it then tells you that I've only got 80 miles range left. Now people talk about range anxiety. Looking at that, I think yes, I'm a little bit anxious, but the great thing about this is when you set your destination, like for example, I'm going home this afternoon back to Cardiff. Go into the sat nav. Yes, there it is, full screen. Put in home, and it tells me there that I'll need to stop off for a supercharger in South Mims, which I presume is on the M25. It says stop there for 40 minutes. It also tells you, if you just look about here, it tells you that when I arrive there, I should have 9% battery left, which is probably a bit of margin. And then I should then stop off at Gardano Services in Bristol for 20 minutes, which would be sufficient to get me home then back to Cardiff with 27% remaining, where I can charge at home then overnight, and then tomorrow being Sunday I can then go out and have a bit of fun in my new car. Yes, the only two real buttons in the car are the hazard warning lights here and the opening here, which opens up the glove compartment. So those are the only two real buttons in the car. Everything else is controlled from here. So we've got the sunroof. The sunroof, you can open it in vent mode or fully open it. And from the steering wheel, but as it's been raining and there's a lot of water on the roof, I'm not going to risk that now in case water pours in on our heads. You can alter the suspension. Of course, I'm still in diving mode from earlier on, but effectively what it means is that I can have the suspension raised for going over bumps, or lowered down as for high-speed driving. It's also got, I went for the cold weather option because although we're in the UK, we don't get really bad winters. Sometimes it's nice just to have a hot steering wheel to keep your hands warm rather than a cold steering wheel. So I went for that. The rear seats, front seats, there's the steering wheel, there's the wipers, that's everything working. And I'll turn those off now because the longer they're on, the batteries is draining. Yes, I've gone for the premium upgrade package, which gives you this this console here for storage. So there's various things I can adjust. There's extra things of these to put your cups in. But what they did, they asked what phone I had, and I've got an iPhone 7 Plus. So what they've done, they've put in the Lightning connector for the iPhone 7 Plus. Right. Okay. So that plugged in there yesterday. Although overnight I put my battery pack on, which effectively makes the phone a little bit bigger. And what that meant was that I had to remove these here, which would normally be at the side here, supporting the phone. I've been following James now for about 2 or 3 months because he was very pro Teslas until about 2 days before I got my Tesla, when his car, as he said, was bricked. Effectively, everything went dead. But James, it's good to have feedback from you, and I've enjoyed your videos. This is the 5-seater. I haven't got grandchildren or young children, so I didn't need the extra 2 seats in the back, which are effectively our child seats in the boot. But there's quite a bit of room in the back, and bearing in mind I've gone from a Jaguar XK to a Tesla S, at least I now have got usable seats in the back, which I didn't have with the XK. I went for the tan seats as well. The reason I went for these, 2 reasons. Everybody talks about the black seats, but I find that black seats in the summer get very hot. So I decided to go for the lighter ones because when you get in, there's less chance of getting a bit too hot. Yeah, this has got, behind here, it's got a couple of cup holders, which is on this particular model. I think that I'd probably tend to use the ones down here because this would be a bit too high and easy to knock them if you're resting your arm on here.
There's
So
only
what
one
I'll do
down
is-
there.
there is another one in the package here, so I can slot these in. Again, I only picked the car up yesterday. I haven't had a chance to unpack everything yet, but essentially it seems like you can adjust this to suit various styles. It's various sizes
see.
of cups. So you could have a smaller cup in there, a larger one there. So yeah, it's interesting to see how they've done that. I guess I could put it that way as well for quite a large cup. So as I get to know the car, I'll probably do a few tips and tricks for new owners of Model S's. This is the key for the Model S.
Looks like a car. Looks like your car.